Hey guys, thanks for joining us on this Sunday evening. This is totally an impromptu video as I don't feel fully prepared. I was planning on just relaxing today, but here we are.
We're winging it. We thought we might as well talk about the Golden Globes while it's fresh in
I need to
everybody's
take all
mind.
my hair down, but whatever. Ah!
Oh well.
But yeah, so was this your first time watching the Golden Globes?
No, I've watched them sporadically. I mean, generally, I'm just not really into award shows. Like, they're usually really, really boring. Actually, I think that they've spruced up the format significantly because this one was actually pretty entertaining. Like, it was like, they kept it moving, like, very fast. And did you notice that they, like, purposely limited the amount of time that the speeches could be?
Oh, no, they always do that. That's how long it's been since he's watched the award show.
2 minutes, though? Really?
They've done that for a while now.
Well, that's how long it's been since I've watched one because, yeah, like I said, normally I'm just like bored to tears, but this one was pretty okay.
Yeah.
So.
And also, it's always good, or at least my rule of thumb is to record it first and then skip through the commercials. Although we did miss the first hour, we had to watch a few of the videos on YouTube, starting with. I almost said Seth MacFarlane. Seth Meyers' opening speeches. He was the host, and it was pretty funny.
I thought he did a really good job. I thought that he was. I wonder if he's got like a personal vendetta against Kevin Spacey or something, because it seemed like he was taking a lot of jabs at him, and I was wondering why he took more jabs at Kevin Spacey than at Harvey Weinstein. I found that interesting. Like, I don't know what that means. Maybe he just, like, he just came up with better jokes for Kevin Spacey than with Weinstein or whatever.
I feel like jokes about Harvey should be fairly easy at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought that was funny. I liked the fact that he incorporated something from his show, the whole, like, reading the punchline with somebody else. Him and Amy Poehler had a good back and forth there for a while.
I felt like that one went on a little bit too long.
Yeah, it was still decent.
I like the quicker ones. Like what was it? Issa Rae's 3 projects, and I can't remember any.
I can't
the other
either.
people. Jessica Chastain did the first one, which I thought was better than her actual whatever joke she did announcing with Chris Hemsworth. I think I want to say.
Yeah, there was a lot of really awkward
stuff
that happened. But I guess it's kind of like that at all award shows. There's usually a bunch of awkward moments.
It felt more awkward overall to me, including whoever wrote Reese Witherspoon's introduction to the Cecil B. DeMille Award. You failed.
Yeah.
That Oprah deserved so much better than whatever that garbage was. If that had been me on the stage after that terrible comment about if Oprah texts you right now during the award show, you stop whatever you're doing, whatever, I would have stopped reading the teleprompter right then and there and said, look, Oprah, I don't know where that speech is going. I did not read or approve it, so I'm just going to freeball it right now and talk about how awesome you are to me. That would have been more appropriate than whatever drivel was coming out of her mouth.
Yeah, that speech just, like...
It was rough.
It was very awkward. It didn't make any sense, like, grammatically. There was, like, all sorts of just bizarre... Like, the sentence structure... It sounded like it was written by somebody who, like, doesn't speak English as a first language or something.
Or someone who doesn't like Oprah or is too much of a stan of Oprah's to comprehend what a good speech actually is.
I was very confused by that speech. I felt bad for Reese Witherspoon that she had to read that. You could tell that she was doing the best with it that she could, but it was a weird speech. It was just weird. I guess we should talk about Oprah's speech next then. Because
oh, wow. So...
Great speech.
People talk about amazing speech givers, and while there have been many who can say words, who can give meaning to words and have a powerful message, Oprah not only has a powerful message, she delivers it in a powerful way where you have no choice but to sit up and pay attention. I mean, I wanted to either way, but the message of what she was saying in her delivery, it was so, classy and poignant, and to the point where I was like, yes, absolutely, Oprah for president, please. She can move people. That's her gift. That's always been Oprah's gift. That's why she was, successful, or part of the reason is why she was as successful as she has been, is that voice and her, I can't even think of words right now.
It was a great speech. I thought that was a good story that she told about the woman who was attacked and how she had passed away 10 days prior. That was a nice way to wrap it up. That was actually another thing that I thought Seth Meyers that was a good joke that Seth Meyers made in his monologue about how he was talking about how, like, I guess in 2011 he made a bunch of jokes that at Donald Trump. Yeah. And people have said that night was the reason why he decided to run.
Between that and President Obama joking about him, yeah.
Yeah, and so he was like, if that's true, Oprah, you will never become president. And he, like, points at her and, like, made it a thing. That was funny.
Oprah and Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Tom Hanks, you will never be vice president. That was really funny. I enjoyed that joke. What else was going on?
Please look up Oprah's speech in Washington Full if you haven't seen it. It's on NBC.
I was we didn't write this down, but I was happy that *Handmaid's Tale* got the award for best drama. I thought
I don't know who they were up against, but I don't know.
Well, I don't know who all the nominees were, but regardless, I'm just happy that it was a show that was actually good.
Yeah.
Because usually I am just endless. It's another reason why I don't usually watch these types of shows, is because, like, normally the nominees are just infuriatingly bad. I mean, I just don't understand. I cannot relate to, like, the general American public when it comes to, like, TV taste. I don't get it. Shows like Will and Grace and just crap like that's not funny. I don't understand why stuff like that gets nominated.
Well, it was up against The Crown, Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, and This Is Us. And
I'm surprised that Game of Thrones didn't win.
Well, of the 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 5 shows mentioned, I've only seen 3, and I can tell you right now that if I had to choose between *Handmaid's Tale* and Game of Thrones or Stranger Things, I would have gone with Game of Thrones, honestly.
I can't speak to it because I don't watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I couldn't get into it. It's very well done and very well acted. I just couldn't get into it. What is I'm blanking on her name. The lead actress in *Handmaid's Tale*.
Elizabeth Moss.
Sorry, Elizabeth Moss. Sorry, we're tired, guys. I'm a fan of hers because she was on Mad Men. And so, like, I loved that show. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. And so watching her and John Hamm was, just a great pleasure to me. So I like that she got her own show, after Mad Men ended, because she's a fantastic actress. So it's cool to see her in this role. And if you guys haven't watched *Handmaid's Tale*, you should. It's a really, really good show. It's a really good show. It's about a really messed up concept.
Yeah, I think the concept is more the winner than... and I think Elizabeth Moss is great in the role, but I think I don't even know who she was up against. Well, I say she was the best out of all of the shows. I mean, of the other actresses who she went up against, which I also have to look up. But I don't think I would. At
least somebody who, is really, really talented and, did put on a really good production won. I'm happy about that. What else?
Well, Big Little Lies won for Best Limited Series. I have a problem with that for 2 reasons. One, it's actually no longer going to be a limited series. They're going to go into production for season 2.
Yeah, that's a miscategorization, in my opinion.
Which wasn't fair to the other ones. And 2, Feud, Betty and Joan was superior to that miniseries,
and as was The Sinner. The Sinner should have won that. I wanted The Sinner to win so much, and I knew it wasn't going to happen. But
Betty and Joan was better than The Sinner. The Sinner would have been my second choice.
I haven't seen that, so I don't know. The only one out of those that I really had like a desire to win was The Sinner. Yeah. I tried to watch Big Little Lies and I didn't get it.
Now I will say Laura Dern was fabulous in Big Little Lies, but overall the series I would not have said that it was worthy to win the award at all. Yeah. That's just
I didn't like it. I thought it was pretty well acted, but I just didn't really like the story. What else are we supposed to talk about? Okay, so the last but not least.
Not last but not least. The
control room operator for
that was going to be the last thing, but all right.
Frances McDormand. I don't know what was going on there, but they censored like a bunch of stuff that she said that didn't seem censor worthy.
Well, they kept thing is, she was the one word that she did say that was I guess you could say it's profane language was shite. But then everything else, it was like she was saying fox, and I guess they thought she was gonna say the F-bomb.
Does she have like a history of cursing on stage at award shows or something?
Not
like,
that I know of.
It was very strange.
It was strange.
Not only did they over censor her, but they censored her like late. I mean, they didn't even like correctly get the word that they're trying to cut out.
It was like whoever did it was drunk.
It was weird. I mean, it was like a weird point in the show. I was just like, man, can you get that guy out of the control room, because he's not doing a very good job. And then
wait, before we do you want to finish with Natalie Portman?
Yeah,
I want
sure.
to mention James Franco.
Go right ahead.
James Franco. So he won.
That was really funny too.
For the Disaster Artist, which we haven't seen yet, which I definitely want to see.
I'll watch it.
And I liked he's so goofy. He brought Tommy Wiseau on stage, and Tommy was about to say something. He's like,
yeah.
Wait a minute.
He was like, no.
I want you on stage, but I want to finish my piece.
Yeah, he was like, no, bro, come on. This is my moment, not yours. You already had your movie come out, and like you've had enough.
He was keeping it 100. You know, he wanted to have his moment. I'm not. I don't think James Franco has won a Golden Globe before.
I don't know.
And it looks very good for him if he is nominated for an Oscar, which I'm not sure. But if he is, that if you win a Golden Globe, if you win like all the other award shows, you are very good to win the Oscar. Should want to be nominated. So I think he's great. He's ridiculous, but he's great, and I enjoyed his speech about what did he say about the Coen brothers, and he always wanted to find a brother like that. And he said, "Oh yeah," and then I realized I had one. So thanks, Mom, for giving me.
It was fun to watch. What else? Do we have anything else to talk about before Natalie Portman?
No, I was trying to find who did Elizabeth Moss beat out, and I'm having a really hard time.
We'll list it in the description box.
Yeah, okay.
So the last thing was what Natalie Portman said. So she was up there, and she was part of announcing the nominees for Best Director. And she made a comment that, in my opinion, was in horrible taste. She goes, and here are the male nominees.
Well, the only male, that's not exactly what she said. Like,
it was something
men only in the category or something. I didn't think that was appropriate either. You have, Guillermo del Toro actually won for Shape of Water.
It's a great movie, by the way.
And he actually tells them to stop playing music. He said, it took me 25 years to get here.
Yeah.
So this was his first win for the Golden Globes. And to me, it was like the poor man's version of Kanye happened on stage with Taylor Swift, right? Because I am sure Natalie Portman would not appreciate if it was her category for Best Actress, whatever, and someone's like, and notice there are no black actresses nominated this time around.
Yeah.
While that's true, that's not the nominee's fault. It's not even the Hollywood Foreign Press, Hollywood Association.
Foreign Press.
Okay, it's not even their fault because and Whoopi Goldberg actually talked about this in terms of black films being nominated like a year or so ago for Oscars So White, and she said, you can't bitch about it at the last minute. Like, you have to campaign and have things created and be made before the show takes place. So to be upset about the show itself and the nominations when they have, a lack of nominees to begin with, who are minorities, be it women or people of color or whatever, it's really not fair to complain. There needs to be more films. So you need to start there, not with the awards. It needs to be started with whoever's producing films, whoever's making films, whoever's directing films. Like, if you're upset that there aren't enough female directors, well, Natalie Portman, you have money in pool.
Yeah.
Why don't you boost up female directors and find some and produce a film?
Exactly. And, so, like, we're looking at her IMDb page right here. She's never directed anything.
Well, not even. She doesn't have to be a director. She's an actress.
I know.
But she is a person in power. Mm-hmm. So why don't you find projects and boost these women up? Like Oprah. Yeah. I'm not saying to get a whole network, but Oprah Winfrey has OWN, obviously, and she promotes projects for people of color to have voices and to have work and to have, to be on TV. more than just the token role. So if that's how you really feel about it, maybe you should do something about it and boost up the women directors who don't have a voice or platform yet.
Yeah, the other
Why don't you go start an indie film who is directed by a female, and then if you want to complain, like until then you just sound like an asshole.
Yeah, that was just like a really dick thing to say. I mean, it's not appropriate to try and like attack and diminish the nominees of an award show. They didn't do anything, you know what I mean? It's not like they like had, I mean, they didn't nominate themselves, right? Like they were nominated by other people. Don't take it out on them.
Not even that, but if that doesn't mean that they weren't deserving of their nomination either. So she basically took a dump on whoever was going to win. Like all of the nominees looked uncomfortable after that.
And they were all guys who have been directors for like 30 years. Like, you know what? Natalie Portman is 36 years old. These guys have been directing since she was like 9. So they've done their time, and I think she needs to take a step back on that.
Well, not even that, but again, they're not the problem. The problem is the lack of women who are actually directing films. Even Barbara Streisand said something to that effect, like she was the last one to win. I don't know what was that statistic you saw? It was like 7% of the films made last year were by women directors.
I believe that was it. Don't quote me on that. That might be wrong,
or something to that effect.
I need to fact check that. I don't know if that's true or not.
If that's remotely in the ballpark, that is minuscule to say the least. And those films might not even necessarily have been dramatic films.
Yeah,
could have been a rom-com or some other genre for all I know, or a musical or something that doesn't even qualify for the category for whatever reason. So it needs to be said that the problem isn't with the award shows. You need to start before the award shows and make more films with these people, the people who you want to see nominated.
Yeah.
So
taking a dump on Guillermo del Toro's moment to accept his speech, I mean, that just really wasn't cool. I would not have appreciated that if I was him. I would have been like, wow, thanks for making everything awkward right as I'm about to get up on national TV and supposed to deliver my speech. Like, that's just not cool.
His speech, Sterling K. Brown, right? So he won for
it's great too.
For was it Best Actor? Was it Best Actor that he won? Yes, he wins Best Actor, and he actually thanked the creator for writing a role specifically
for a black man,
not just any old body, specifically designed for a black man. So, if that is the issue, if it's lack of women, like there needs to be more creators for things of that nature. And I will say another thing. I think that Get Out, even though I found it hilarious, I think it was definitely miscast as a musical / comedy. I think it would have been more suited for like maybe drama thriller or something.
It was listed as a comedy?
Musical / comedy category, which was totally misplaced, and I felt like that in itself made it kind of a throwaway nomination.
I mean, that's ridiculous. It wasn't a comedy at all.
It was not in the right category, and I didn't think that was fair.
I would have thought it would have been in horror.
There's not even a category for that.
Oh.
But I'm just saying, if I had to classify it as more of a drama or a comedy, I would have put it more on the drama end of the spectrum, even though there were comedic elements within it.
They have a comedy for comedy / musical, but not for horror? That is retarded. Oh my god, that's so dumb. Wow. Well, that shows how much I watch these award shows, and it's stuff like this that keeps me from watching them. It's just like stupid crap like that. Like that makes no sense whatsoever. They make it so that good movies that are more on the horror side don't have a place on purpose, which is totally unfair. So
I'll just say this because it just occurred to me just a second on the Natalie Portman thing. Just one last thought. If there is an issue with directors, notice they have Best Male Actor, Best Female Actress, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the complaint is that there should be a category for women directors if we're going to do it by gender, which is ridiculous in and of itself. But if that's how you want it to be, maybe that's where it needs to go. And even then, I do not think they would have had enough nominees for that specific category had it existed tonight. So
probably not.
So I just wanted to add a little bit of an addition from last night's video that we are editing together now, because there was an important point that I forgot to make in regards to Natalie Portman. The difference between being petty and poignant. Now, if she wanted to make a point, a stronger point, she could have said, with the omission of Mudbound director Dee Reese, who is a female, And Mary J. Blige was actually nominated in the Best Supporting Actress category, so it's not like it's a movie that had to have been discounted. So there was a legit director who was female who they could have nominated, and they didn't, as opposed to making a general statement. Additionally, what she also could have mentioned and did not was how Girls Trip was snubbed, whereas Bridesmaids from several years ago, same type of film, girls comedy, whatever, was not. So it seems to me that at times the feminism can be very selective, because the exclusion of black women is still very much prevalent, and I think that's another reason why I took issue with her statement. Not only does it diminish the accomplished directors who made it into the category, she totally ignored one female director whose film had actors nominated in other categories who was not acknowledged. So that is my issue, and I just wanted to make a clarification. So sorry for the jarring difference between this and me wearing a hair bonnet.
Pause. I'll edit this way in a way that makes sense. It'll be right after this, so okay, thank you. Anything else about the Golden Globes?
No.
I think that's about it. If you guys like our content, make sure to go ahead and subscribe right here. Also, follow us on Instagram at @RLRichonne, and also check out the brand new blog, TheLivingRichonne.blog. Thank you guys so much for watching.